In this video, we're going to walk through implementing JWT Authentication for a Chrome extension using Django. So there is an accompanying blog post for this video linked in the comments that has more details. For this, we're going to mostly focus on implementation. So first, I'm going to create a new folder. And then I always develop in Visual Studio Code, so I'm going to open this folder in VS Code. And open up a new terminal. So the first step is to create a Django app, just a general Django app. So I'll make this a little bigger so we can see. So first, create a virtual environment, activate that virtual environment, install Django using pip. Generate the boilerplate for the application. Open the folder we've just created. Create a new app called Core within the project. Run the migrations. Create a super user. And start the app. Did I mistype that? Yep. Okay, so now our app should be running at this location. So we can check it out and make sure. All right, there it is. So we got a Django app up and running. All right, so now we need to, so for the next step, we're going to install the specific libraries necessary for this tutorial. So we have to stop the app, and we're installing DJ REST Auth, Django REST Framework Simple JWT, and Django All Auth. Okay, so now we're going to get started adding the features we need to run a token-based or a JWT token-based authentication system in Django. So for the first step, we need to add some things to installed apps under settings.py. So these are the different apps required from those packages we just installed. Next, we need to add all of the configurations to implement JWT tokens. So I'm just going to paste them all at the bottom here and then kind of quickly walk through what each of them means. So first we're saying we want to use JWT authentication from the REST framework simple JWT. So that's our default authentication class. Next we have these configurations for the JWT token. The ones that we'll discuss now, so access token, lifetime, and refresh token. So when using JWT, you have both access and refresh tokens. The access tokens are short-lived and they're used to authorize the user. The refresh tokens are longer lived, and they're just used to get new access tokens once the initial access token has expired. This signing key is what's used to validate that the token is correct. So the user will have the access and refresh tokens stored in cookies on their machine, and they will send those cookies to the server and compare them against our signing key to make sure that they are valid. Next, we'll look at these REST auth settings. So first off, we're saying use JWT, and then we set our auth cookie and our access token and our refresh token name for the cookies. This is a pretty important piece. We want to use HTTP only cookies, and we'll discuss this a little bit more later, but this is a more secure way to store cookies. It means that they aren't available. They aren't available in JavaScript. They're only available through network requests. And then finally, for our Chrome extension, each Chrome extension has a unique identifier. And so all of our requests to this application will come from this Chrome extension. So you would need to update this to the unique identifier for your Chrome extension, which we will also get to later. Okay, so next up, for simplicity's sake, we're going to use the standard login view from Django All Auth, so we don't have to create a view ourselves. So I'm going to go into the views here and paste this code in. So what's happening here is we'll start here. We're overriding the login view from All Auth. And so once this form valid function is called in the login view, it will be overridden to use ours that we created here. And the only update we're making to it is we're calling this set JWT tokens or set JWT cookies, which then calls this function, which then actually creates the cookies for the user with these parameters. You can see this was the cookie name we set in our settings earlier. And then we're also creating a home view just for testing purposes. And I'll save that. Okay, and then next we need to update the URL patterns in our application to include these new views. So we'll go into urls.py. I'm going to paste this code in, then take what we need. So we already have path. I'm going to move include up. And then we need these new views that we created, which were in core views. We have the custom login view and the home view, which we just created here. And so I'm going to pull these things up. Okay, and then there's just one more step to getting set up with All Auth. We have to add this middleware class. So this is just a requirement of All Auth. And then we're going to run migrate. So this will apply all the migrations from the new packages that we've added. Okay, so now we're at the first checkpoint. And so here we can verify that the tokens are created each time the user logs in. So we're going to run the server. Okay, and then we're going to go to the login page. got this. We're going to go to account/login. So this is just an unstyled login page, but we're going to log in with the credentials we created earlier. And so now we're at this home page, and we're going to inspect here, go to network settings. So each time you make a request, the cookies will be included in the request. So now if we go in here, so this was our request we just created, you can see that the access token and my access token and my refresh token are available. You can see that they are HTTP only. They have the same site security settings that we specified. So they're available. You can also see them in headers, which this is where they're stored. And then if you go to console and you run document.cookie, you'll see they aren't here. So if they weren't HTTP only cookies, then they would be visible here. So yeah, so each network request there will be included automatically. Okay. So yeah, so it's working as expected so far. Now we need to set up the services to authenticate for the Chrome extension. So we need to add a few new views, which come from DJ REST auth, and those will be used to validate, to authorize our user for our Chrome extension. All right, so I'm just going to paste some code in here and then pull out what we need. So here are the two new DJ REST auth views that we're using. One is token verify, so this will verify that the access token is correct, and then token refresh, which will get us a new access token. And then I'm going to pull up what we need into here. So we need these views one view from DJ REST auth and one view from the West Framework, simple JWT. Delete this. And then there's just one more piece that we need to do on our Django app before this works. So HTTP only cookies are stored in the request headers. However, DJ REST auth views require that the access and request tokens be included in the request body. So we're going to use this custom middleware developed by Wolfbite, a GitHub user, and this will move the cookies from the headers into the body. So we're going to create a new file. I'm going to paste this in. So we can do a quick walkthrough of how this works. So this first one, move JWT cookie into body. If the request path is token verify and this cookie name for the access token that we created earlier is in request.cookies, then it will move that token. It will move that token to the body and create a new field in the request body called token, which contains our token value. And then the refresh middleware is very similar. You can see this is similar. And then it will create a value in the body called refresh. And then we just need to ensure that we include this middleware in settings.py. So we'll add it here. Okay, and that's it. So now our app should be set up to authorize users for our Chrome extension. So now next we're going to take the okay, now we're going to walk through creating the Chrome extension. For simplicity's sake, I'm going to create it directly I'm going to create it in the same folder or in the same project as the Django app. Move it so it's outside of this. Okay. Alright, so every Chrome extension, or this Chrome extension consists of really three main files: a manifest.json, background.json, and then the image, the icon image. So I'm just going to grab this manifest file, and we'll create a new file here called manifest.json. Paste it in here. So yeah, this specifies the manifest version. 3 is the most up to date. It specifies the icon, which we will add later, and then the background script and host permissions. So since we're sending requests to localhost from our background script, we have to specify that that it's allowed here. If you were sending requests to other domains, you would also include them here. So I'm going to quick update the folder structure. So we'll have a images folder and a scripts folder, and that should be it. So then now I'm going to create our script, background.js. I'm going to go and grab the image from the GitHub repo now, just so we have that available. Name it to match. Okay, so now we have our folder structure set up. We've created the manifest, so now we'll look at the background file. So I'm just going to grab this code and move it over to VS Code, and then we can discuss it. I'll just pull it all over, and then we'll walk through it. Okay, so for our Chrome extension, we have, let me save these files so I don't forget. So we have, first off, we specify the base URL. This is where our Django app is running. So we'll start off, we have this activate app. I guess we'll start down here. So this function is called anytime the extension icon is clicked. And so when they click, we call this activate app function. So now going up here, this activate app verifies the user's token, and if it's invalid, then it says the user is not logged in. It changes this badge on the extension, and then it opens up a new tab to force the user to log in again. Otherwise, if it's valid, it starts the app. So verify token, what we're doing here is we're calling this verify view we specified in the Django app. We're sending a post request. Because it's a post request, we have to send a body, so we're just sending an empty body. Okay, so the credentials tells it to include the cookies for that domain within the request. So then once that's complete, then if the response is okay, then it's going to change this badge on the icon to show that the token has been verified, and it will resolve this JSON response. Otherwise, if it's not okay, then it will try to get a new access token. So then this get access token function, we call the refresh view that we created earlier. Once again, pretty similar, an empty body, including the credentials. So then if the response is good, then it sets the badge to request and changes the color to blue and sends this access token. Otherwise, it says fails to get new token and returns null. So now going up here, if it returns null, then this data will be empty. So it will change the badge text to expired, and then it will request that the user log in again. Okay, so let's take a look. Let's load the app to Chrome extensions and see how it works. All right, so we'll go to Chrome-extensions, which this is how you load an extension. This is the current one. I'm going to remove this, and then I'm going to hit Load Unpacked. I'm going to go to the folder that we've been working in, and I'm going to select this extension. Okay, so this has been loaded. One thing we do have to do now, we have to update this unique identifier within our settings so that requests from this URL or from this Chrome extension are allowed. So we'll go into settings, and down here we have the trusted origin, and I'm just going to update this right here. Okay, so now let's see how this works. So first we'll pin the extension here, and then we'll try to get it started. All right, so here I tried to run the extension. I'm going to make this a little smaller so you can see what's going on. So this is our app. It tried to verify the token, unauthorized. It tried to refresh the token, not allowed. So then it opened up the login page. So now I'm going to log in with the credentials I created earlier. Okay, so that was okay. Now I'm going to hit here. So it verified the token, and it worked fine. So the token's verified. And so this should work for about 10 seconds, and then after 10 seconds, our verify token expires. So now I got a refresh token. So now we can verify again and again. The token will still work, and eventually after 10 seconds, it gets the refresh token again. But the refresh token only lasts for 30 seconds, so pretty soon we will get an expired, and then we'll have to log in again. So that's pretty much it. If you have any questions, please write them in the comments, and I'm happy to help. Thanks. Bye.